different today. And no worries, all is well. Um, as some of you might know, I had a little accident, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I let's start out like we always do with doing three ohms together. I just want to remind you that we don't just ohm to unify ourselves with one another. We do it to unify the different parts of ourself within ourself, our minds, our hearts, and our bodies. The vibration of Om is the great unifier of all energies. So those are the energies within us that move out from us to others. And then from there, of course, we're unified in another way. So we're going to do three ohms today and really find that really deep place inside of yourself that you know is pure. The place that you strive for, like when you're a little upset, a little angry, but you strive to let it go, you're striving to get to a place that lives in your heart that's pure. Sometimes you might feel a little sad, or you feel a little lonely, or you just feel frustrated, or whatever it may be. If you allow yourself to remember Om and the vibration of Om, it will help you to move that energy through you. Never ever think you are helpless. Okay, let's Om together. Om. 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 See, now we have a clean bowl where we can make cosmic cookies. Put all your ingredients in the cleanest bowl possible and make the sweetest taste, right? Emanate through our hearts. So today I'm a little I haven't been skiing. Um, just have a little bit of a not quite a hole in my head, but oh yeah, a scratch. I have a little scratch in my head. Yeah, just yeah. So so I just wanted to be covered up a little bit today. So no worries. So it's kind of interesting how the word for the month was several words. And gratitude, of course, we always do in the month of November. I hope you do it every day, me too, right? Without gratitude, we don't have a new beginning. Gratitude means new beginning. When you're grateful for something, something has already occurred. So the minute you are grateful or you express gratitude and you give thanks for gratitude, it means something has completed. So gratitude signifies you are welcoming a new beginning. Now, when something happens to us, like maybe you have an accident or something, and you can't find the gratitude for the situation, which I could completely understand, but if we don't dig for that, we don't have that sense of completion and new beginning. Gratitude ushers in sweetness in the new beginning. Because it's kind of like forgiveness, you know, it's a type of erasure of the bad. When you have gratitude, even if something bad or foul has happened to you or someone around you, gratitude helps us to be grateful for the things that don't seem to be shining in that moment. You know, the good is always there. It's always inherent. It can never go away because it's good. Goodness never goes away because it's truth, and truth never goes away. So, in our hours of trials and tribulations and lessons and all the things that we go through, we must never, ever abandon our practice of gratitude. Well, sometimes, people may want to say, well, I don't know what you're talking about because why would I be grateful? Why would I be grateful for all this pain or this misery or this lack of this and lack of that? You know, you don't have to concentrate on something to be grateful. You don't have to be grateful for one thing or grateful for that thing or grateful for a really specific thing. What you want to do is practice the feeling of gratitude. Let it like move through you where you actually feel it completing things, knitting things together that were separated before. When we focus on gratitude, when we practice gratitude, sometimes it's easy. Yay, thank you. Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you. That's wonderful. It's wonderful. And for it to be spontaneous like that means that you've been practicing it. And then it just comes out. Even just the littlest thing, maybe you're in traffic and you don't think you're going to make it, and you make it, and you're just like, oh, yay. The only way that you could really feel like that is if you've been having a practice, because you might get where you're going and go, oh, okay, fine, I made it. Okay, that was awful. You see? So when we practice gratitude, it creates a beautiful ending to something that was upsetting. It's like the upset is over. And the gratitude is very present, and it's there so that we remember that everything always works out, even though we don't think that it does. It's a really kind of a deep thing that I just said. There's a lot of ways that we could go with that, but everything does work out. And the thing to remember is why we're all here. What do you think it is? I don't know. Everybody has their own idea of why we are here. But I think one word says it all. We're all words, all experience are inherent in this word, and it's love. We seem to not realize that we are made of love. We don't realize this because we're always looking for it. Do you love me? Will you love me? Will you love what I do? I love that. Will it love me back? So it makes us see love outside of ourselves, which is really good. But how come you recognize it when you see it? Because you already are it. It's already inherent. But we forget that because we have pain. So when we have pain, we look out and we see other people doing things and they seem to be enjoying themselves and da 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 da. And it makes us forget that we have what we see them experiencing because we have pain and they're experiencing joy at the same time we have pain. So it makes us feel like we don't have that, but it is there. So there's a Sanskrit word called sadhana. Sadhana means spiritual practice. And of course, as Americans, we're like, could you write that down and give me the formula and I'll just practice it, How do you do it? Do you do this, 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 and this? And how many times? And how intense? And how much sugar do you add? How much flour do you add? Because I'm a perfectionist, I need to know all the ways to do this. I think a true perfectionist has no attachments to perfection at all. Right, buddy? No attachments to perfection because we don't really know what perfection is. We don't, or we would be aware of being made of love. That would be perfect. So, gratitude is easy when you receive something that you wanted. That doesn't mean it isn't useful. It doesn't mean it's less than. It's just that you want to get used to the feeling of gratitude, you know, like chocolate or maybe even coffee, because coffee, when you first taste coffee, most of us are like, ew, ick. But then we keep on with the practice of coffee till now we're like, oh God, where's my coffee? You know? So gratitude is one of those things like that where you get used to it in the sense of the taste of it and you want more of it. You want to feel that gratitude because it balances your hardship out, the place where your mind is heavy or where your heart is suffering a loss. We feel like we have no room for gratitude because why would I be grateful that this bad thing happened to me? Again, it doesn't have to be so specific. Thank you for this bad thing that happened to me. That's all. That might not be satisfying. So what we do is we keep looking for gratitude. Okay, gratitude's in me because gratitude is love. Gratitude and love, no difference. In fact, you can even say love rather than gratitude. But in this way, we want to cultivate the feeling that we are open to receive that which is given to us. Because we don't understand it doesn't mean that we don't have the love to understand what's going on. So we all have roller coaster lives. Some people have huge hills that they're coming up and down on. We all do at some point or another. And it is important that when we're in the valley there of that roller coaster or on the way down, that that we remember that we are love and that we are loved. Now, um, I want to just say to you too that I do respect that not everybody feels loved. I do understand that that is a real experience. That there are people who do not feel loved. They do not feel seen because they aren't seen. And if they are seen, they might be seen with eyes that are full of judgment. It's very difficult when we're in situations when we feel like this, when we feel unloved. And when I use the word feel, I don't mean it like we feel it and it's not real. You know, like people think feeling is different than something that's reality. I don't understand that, but there you go. When we feel unloved, we have forgotten ourselves. We think that others have forgotten us, but they too have forgotten themselves if they can't see the love inside of you, because they too have it, but they don't know it, so they're not going to share it because they think what they have is limited. Love is limitless, but a spiritual practice helps us to be in touch with that feeling of that love is always present inside of us. And the more that we give of that love through our thoughts, our words, our actions, we begin to discover that there's a power that lives inside of us that we didn't know before, that it's always been there from the beginning of time, because that's who we are. It's not separate from us. It's very difficult to do what I'm saying, to find this love, to be in touch with it. Because when we see it in others, it can make a person going through such a difficult time feel dramatically unloved. So I say this to you so that you always remember, you know, that we all have love, but we have to learn to turn the light on, you know? And as we do that, we don't live in darkness. Self-confidence in spirituality has nothing to do with competition. Because we think, oh, look, here come the competitors. They're all confident and they're all going to do this and they're all going to do that. That's worldly confidence, perfectly legitimate, perfectly fine. But it comes and goes. Comes and goes. Spiritual confidence is different. It doesn't come and it doesn't go because it's always there. It's always there. You don't have to wait for it. Hello? No, you don't have to wait for it. How you see it, though, one of the ways that we express spiritual confidence is the power to overcome. So when we have things that are going on in our lives that seem crazy or tragic or however you want to say it, we are facing ourself, our own weaknesses, and it's what's a good word to use here? It's a moment in time that we awaken to, God, this is up to me. This is up to me to change. This is a powerful moment in a person's life because usually we think, you change. I'm not staying with you. You need to change. I need to change. You need to change. We need to change. The power to overcome sometimes is silent inside of us. It doesn't speak until you need it. So these last few weeks for me, ooh, it's been talking. It's been like, oh, hello. Remember me? The power to overcome? I'm like, oh yeah, thank God you're here. Yeah, okay. What do you need? Can I feed you? What? What? Make this better. Help me. Help me to help myself. Help me to help myself. I am very, very grateful for the people that have been around me and helped me. Mm. Having my head sewn up. Very grateful. Very, very grateful. Well, stapled. Many times. Very grateful that my wounds are clean. Very, very, very grateful. Working on uh, trauma. So that brings me to being grateful to the power to overcome. Because you might know I took a tumble down my stairs from the top to the bottom, backwards, of course. And those stairs are still here. So I have to face them every day. Hello. And I stand there and I look at them. And Ruby helps me down. As she carries my walker down. She's at the bottom, and there I am at the top. And for those first few moments, I don't visualize myself falling. I don't really have perfect memory of it. I don't want to. I have no interest in that. But I feel the fear. So if I want to get down the stairs, fear and I are going to have to walk together. We're going to have to become friends in some way, because I can't be in a relationship with fear if it's going to dominate me. That's not going to work. We're going to have to break up. But for right now, I do have it. And I still go down the stairs and come up them. But it teaches me that that's about my body, fear of hurting my body. I'm not afraid that it hurt my soul. I'm not afraid that a fall like this hurt my heart and it's going to make me bitter. No, it costs too much to live like that. So the power to overcome is to have confidence in oneself. Not your personality, not what you think people want you to do, not in a showy way, not in a way where you're expecting people to acknowledge you and say how great you are or whatever it is. True confidence does not live off of compliments or insults for that matter. Confidence does not need to be fed because it's just another word for God. It is. God is another word for love. They're the same. So when we pray, when we speak to the divine, it's always right here. You can go to a temple, you could go to a church, you could go places, you can hold all your prayers in here and say, I'm not going to say them until I get to the temple. Perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. But maybe you can't get to the temple. Maybe you can't walk there, you can't drive there. Do the prayers stop? No. The temple isn't here. And it's not like the temple is in here and the prayer has to go out here. The prayer is answered in here. And as it's answered, the energy moves from you all around you. This is the source of prayer. This is the temple. And as you pray for help to have less fear, to have more courage, it's not like you're just praying to yourself, your personality. It's the divine, because the divine is saturated in everything in the entire universe. It's too big for us to even begin to understand. But what we can understand is that love is the power to overcome. Because love brings gratitude. It loosens it up where you can feel grateful that, oh my gosh, I came down today and I didn't feel as bad as I did yesterday. Woo! The power to overcome gives this joy. It gives a sense of purpose and determination. But there are people, my fall is nothing compared to the fall of people who are hungry. People who are under siege. People who are being publicly humiliated. People who are being forced into separation. These things happen because we forget that we are made of love. Love is not an emotion, and it never has been, because it doesn't come and go. Emotions come and they go and they come back again, they go and they come back again. No, love is always present, or it wouldn't be love. It wouldn't be God. It would be the divine. It is completely underrated. When people say, thoughts and prayers, I don't want to hear it anymore. Maybe you just weren't listening deep enough. It's not about hearing it. It's about intuition. We can only perceive the divine through our intuition. It's the only way to feel it. True love, true grace is a feeling, not an emotion. It's a feeling. And as we practice gratitude, as we practice peace, as we practice understanding, as we practice patience, we become stronger and we have the power to overcome, so that we never take any joy in seeing anybody have pain. We never feel, thank God those people are being harmed. Never. You see, this will empty us. Empty us. It'll make us live in a constant state of hunger. When people don't acknowledge that they're made of love, they become very, very hungry. They want to be seen. They don't want other people to be happy, because it means that those people are full. They've eaten something that satisfied them. But I feel still hungry. I want what they appear to have. And it makes people who are actually really strong feel like they have to steal from people who don't have very much, because they begin to be afraid of everybody, like everybody else has it but me. But I'm going to make it so that I have it all. This is not love. This is not greatness. This is not goodness. We have to take care of our temple. I'm not just talking about my body, about my temple in my heart, in my soul. Asking yourself today, can I be grateful for what happened today? No. Okay, I'll come back to that. Really, be easy with yourself and go, okay, all right, not time to let it go. Okay, still processing, I see. All right. A couple hours later, come back. Can I let that go? Maybe, maybe. Tomorrow comes and you ask yourself again, can I let that be? Yeah, yeah. I have many things that I want to do today. I don't want that to ruin it, to hurt me, to hurt others. If we hold on too long, we will want to harm somebody. I know that's a weird thing for me to say, but it's true. If we hold on to this happens to me, we could make that happen to somebody else. When I say these things to you, I'm not saying these things because you should feel guilty. You know, I don't even believe in guilt. I don't see the power of guilt to make somebody a good person by having guilt, because guilt comes from shaming and blaming. So if I shame you and I shame myself, where's the goodness in that? Now you feel guilty. It doesn't make us a good person. It just means now we're filled with shame. And that's time to take the trash out. Shame is a terrible, smelly, trashy thing that we all have inside of us. And somehow or another, we are convinced that guilt makes us good. You don't need training wheels. I don't need training wheels. We don't need anything to help us to be good. We need ourselves and to have confidence in ourselves that we are also filled with the divine. It helps us to remember that we are part of this magnificent universe. We don't have to be, humanity doesn't have to be all narcissistic that God's only here for us. And, like there's dimensions and planets and stars and things all over the whole universe. And somehow or another, we think that we're the only ones. I just don't get that. Do you think there's life anywhere else? No, I think it's just us. That's how special we are. But if we're really that special, we're the only ones. We're doing a crappy job. I mean, wouldn't you think we'd do a lot better if we thought we were really, really thought we were the only ones here? Or else we'd be terribly lonely. Oh, all of us, all the time, lonely, lonely, lonely. No, no. The universe is permeated with life. And wherever there's life, there is love. Wherever there is love, there is life. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You would think birds don't love one another? You think boa constrictors don't love one another? Why would you think that? Love is everywhere. You can't get rid of it. No matter how much hate has rooted itself into a human being, and that human being makes decisions that will harm masses amounts of people. Love is alive and well in there, but it may take another 1,000 years to be known. But it's there. It's everywhere. You can't get rid of it. Nope. You can't hoard it. It's not gold. It's better than that. It's not money. It's not fame. Even though it's inherent in all those things, it's not those things. Where we really feel it is when we have relief. And maybe somebody has been missing all day. Maybe your dog's been missing, or your cat, or your lizard, or whatever you have. And then you have it and you squeeze it, it's returned to you. That feeling of relief reminds you of what love feels like. It's always there when we feel lost. Our own self is like a little puppy and we've lost ourself. But when we find ourselves, it is like finding that puppy. It's that feeling of, oh, and what do we say? Oh, thank God. I think even people who are atheists say, oh, thank God, when they feel like that. Because it's natural. It's natural. It's not about religion or politics or shouldn't, all that. It's just a natural thing that we express. Oh, I mean, we could say, oh, thank love. Be the same thing. Oh, thank love. I'm all right. Oh, thank the goddess. That's one of my favorites. However you express it, you're expressing divinity. You're expressing divinity in that moment when you are so spontaneously grateful, so grateful. You use some word that references divinity, whether you believe or you don't believe, you feel it. It's always there. A spiritual practice creates a shield of protection for us. It protects us from really harmful thoughts because perfectly lovely and decent and beautiful human beings can get caught up in wanting others to lose, to be bad, to be gone. Must be careful about that because it means you're not really feeling your own inner strength. We don't have to put other people down. We don't have to annihilate. We don't have to harm others in order to feel good within ourselves. Even as I'm talking, these images keep coming into my mind of things that are so hard to do. People live in war zones. People live in famine. People live in drought. People live in so many different things. They live with illness. They lose their relatives and loved ones, and there's so much that's going on, just like it always has. Only I think a lot more concentrated now. So I say that so that you can vaccinate yourself. If I dare use the word. Seriously, we all need to experience immunity to hate. And immunity is love. It will protect us from hate. It will. But you have to take that medicine, which means a daily dose is your practice to help yourself when you're feeling like this, to be able to find inside of yourself the ability to say, okay, God is love, I am love. Ugh, am I though? No. Wait a minute. Okay, let me try it again. God is love, I am love. No, don't give up. Do it one more time. Okay, God is love, I am love. Now have a good cry. And remember who you are, that you are love. And because you have love, and because you are love, you become aware of it, you have love to give. And you're not afraid that you might be giving to somebody who could be a competitor of yours. Thank you. It will make you strong. It'll make you strong and kind. In order to be kind on a regular basis, we have to have this immunity to things that cause us to want to hyper criticize, in our minds about ourselves, telling ourselves how bad we are. And then, of course, making sure that everybody else who doesn't seem to know that they're very bad, let them know that they're bad. We have to practice immunity to hate. I encourage you, don't have any goals about it. Don't compete with yourself or with anybody else. Spirituality has no competition. True spirituality is not going to be recruiting you. No. You can join whatever you want to join, but you're still an individual. You could go and you can be in a really big spiritual community, but that doesn't mean you're practicing on your own. You're waiting for the love and the fervor that you feel with others. That's good. I'm not saying it isn't good. What I'm saying, though, is it's not enough. The practice of love means you treat yourself with more respect, which means you do not allow feelings of hatred, racism, bigotry to overcome your heart. The practice of love can annihilate those things. And I mean it with all of my heart. I'm not saying, oh, yeah, just a little love, put some sugar in the world, all will be well. Ooh. I'm talking about deep work where you help yourself to say no to those thoughts, not be ashamed of it, but say no to it because you know that it hurts you. You know that it hurts others. To recognize the harm that we cause ourselves, we cause others. And to help ourselves to practice, I am love, I am love, I am love. And you know, when you're chanting or you're doing a mantra, never do it like this. I'm love, I'm love. Did you check the news today? Okay. Oh, sorry. I am love, I am love. No. Maybe you're in a car with a bunch of people and something happens and you almost get into an accident and everyone in the car is like, you a-hole. Pardon me, but that happens. No sense in saying everybody's bad. Could have been you that said it. Could have been them that said it. That's not the point. The point is that you want a spiritual practice. So inside, don't shame anyone. Don't shame yourself. No need to shame the people in the car that you're in or the other person's car. And you chant. And that silent chanting where there's all this turmoil is more powerful than all the loud voices of hate. And if you don't believe me, that's perfectly lovely. But I invite you to practice because you see, we have a lot of good people on the planet that say it doesn't work. We have to join the haters. I disagree. I disagree. The reason I disagree is because the way that not only that I've been taught, but the way that I've been practicing what I've been taught literally for decades has made me actually have a place inside of me where I have a little peace. And as I tumbled and did all the stuff that happened here and all of that, I thought, wow, I still have it. It's still there. That little bit of peace feels big right now. little bit feels really big. If all of us, if some of us, if a few of us would practice the air could get cleaner. I just feel it's interesting that we look around and we know that our air and our water and our soil and everything is filled with all kinds of grime and dirt and dust and particles and germs and all kinds of things that can harm not only us, but cats and dogs and frogs and crows. And we don't see the connection to our minds. The state of our world, whether we're talking about wars, famines, we're talking about forests, the state that we are in comes from human minds. We have the most intelligent capacity on the planet. But what we lack, it's not like it's not true. It is true, which is why we could build all of these things to get us into so much trouble. You have to be very, very intelligent to build all of these things to make us have this much problem too, you know? But intellectual power without spiritual empowerment will harm all of us. And our world will become dirtier and dirtier. And it is a reflection of how people live inside of their own minds. Our own minds. I'm not going to leave myself out of that. Spiritual practice is not namby-pamby. It's not willy-nilly. It's deep and it's profound. And it will strengthen your mind so that you can bear things that you never thought you could. It will remind you of what it means to be a human being. And we don't always get our way. A spiritual practice fills you with a place to retreat to when it's really loud around you. I think I've shared with you before, airports are not my favorite place. I love to travel, but airports are not my favorite place. There's so many people frantic with everything that's where they're going, where they're not going, upset, anticipating. There's a lot of anxiety in airports. And if you practice going inside of yourself while you're there, you won't catch it. It's like germs in the air. Practice being immunized wherever you go. The effects of the love vaccine. It's not a shot. It's not a pill. It's not a syrup. It's not a food. It's not a product. It's not controversial. It's love. It's love. And it won't cost you a penny. Mm-mm. It won't cost you any time because the time that you spend dwelling in love, chanting love when you all you can feel is da 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 da, it heals. You know, meditation is a practice also to give you space inside. Meditation clears us out. Meditation is something that people do this with. And I'm going to say this to you because you've heard me say this a million times, I'm sure. But, you know, we don't want to meditate because why? Because my mind goes too fast. Oh, how unique is that? Let's ask 10,000 people, does your mind go really fast? Oh my God, yes. Mine too. No, no, mine really does. Oh, no, mine does too. No, mine really is fast. So of course, no meditation. I don't know what the hell that is, but no, mine's too fast. You need to know we all feel this way. This is not unique. It is not unique. So I say this to you so that when you go to practice, that you don't stop because your mind goes too fast. Don't stop. Don't stop. We have to, what, it doesn't matter how fast you go. It's like we have all of this technology, and are we better off? I'm not anti-technology. I'm talking to you through technology. I am not anti-technology. I'm not very good at it, but I'm not anti it at all. That would be ridiculous. It would be absurd. But it's what we do with it. Is it feeding people? Is it keeping us safe? Is our air cleaner because of technology? Is our water pure because of technology? Are more people being fed and housed? Are the children being more educated than ever because we have technology? If the answer is yes, let's keep on that train.
Mm.
If the answer is no, I encourage you to practice. We have to change how we feel about things. It's lovely that we have all this technology and we could save ourselves with technology. We can correct every bad course we went down with the same technology that we've harmed ourselves with. So this is not a talk about anti-technology. It's about what's behind it. It's always about what is your intention. Is your intention just to get rich and famous and you just put it out there and you go, well, yeah, it's going to pollute, but so what? They'll deal with that. That could be. What is your intention today for your day, regardless of what set of circumstances that you have? What is your intention today? There's this story, um, this came into my mind. There's this story in India about this mother and son, and they came upon some very, very hard times, and they lived in a small village, and they ended up with no money and very, very hungry. They, of course, became hungrier and hungrier, so they started begging. And that's all they had to eat was what was given to them. And this went on for a while. And the mother was so weak she couldn't go out and beg anymore. And the son was almost in that same condition, apparently. It seems like he appeared to be. You'll see what I mean by that. And so he went out, and a gentleman came out of his home and saw this young man hungry and asking for food. And he told him, he says, wait here. I'll bring food for you. You can eat it here. So the man went inside. He came out and he brought the food and put it in front of the boy. And the boy was kept wanting to pick the plate up. And he says, eat, eat, eat. What are you doing? And he said, no, I have to take this to my mother. She has to eat. Well, he didn't live. He died there with that man. So this man was so moved by this sacrifice when he hurt so bad in his own body, his own mind hurt so bad, but all he could think about was loving his mother. So this man looked for this woman to tell her what happened to her son. And he found her and told her. And I don't remember exactly if she died that day or the next day. But I tell you this story because the man who did a very good thing by bringing the food out got far more than what he gave. He received more than the mother or the son. He received this gift of, oh my God, right? God, oh my God. That's love. We don't get to that point at the end of our life. We don't have that feeling of love for all, for others, unless we practice it in life. When we go through difficulties in our life, if we don't practice love when we're going through a difficulty, we don't do as well. And there are people out there that have very strong minds, and they're very, very good with technology, and they have strong bodies, and they have strong bank accounts. But we all hope that they will be that man who served that one boy, and their hearts will give their knowledge, their strength, their financial strength, their technology strength, all the strength that they have, we hope, and that they will want to give it and give it and give it with love. Use it only for good, to help one another. You may think of being utopian, and I am. But you see, I wanted to really express that even though love is always inherent, it's always with us, it doesn't mean that we have the intelligence to realize it. But we have to sense it, like smell it. You have to like feel it. And you have to be curious about it. You have to let go of that you know everything. And you have to say, okay, wait a minute. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. What is this thing about love? Let me see. Take a sample. Take a sample of love. See if it creates a little immunity to the things that are going on around you. A little immunity inside of you where maybe you don't want to say this bad thing about this person right now. And you stop yourself. Give up perfectionism. It's terrible. Better to practice love. Then the perfection reveals itself. The perfection that was always there. So, for December, of course, I think it's really, really important that we finish the year with peace. And the recipe of peace is the practice of love. So you get a clean bowl, fill it up with the practice of love, bake it, and give it to others. Practice peace, practice peace, practice peace. Very grateful that you are here today. Do I have any announcements? Oh, we're having the solstice, the winter solstice. It's on Saturday the 20th. Saturday the 20th. Bit of a cookie exchange. But you don't have to do that, of course. We can probably have like more cookies than we can ever even think about having. So anyway, it's a celebration because, the winter solstice is to remind us about the power to overcome because it is the darkest day of the year. It is the day that the light is reborn inside of us. So if you've been suffering from whatever it is that you're suffering from, remember that there's always a solstice inside of us. But if you want to come celebrate with us, I hope that you do. So let us once again do 3 ohms together and remember that Om is where we come from. It's just like home, isn't it? Om is home. So when we practice our ohms, we're remembering that we are children of the universe and we live on this planet that we call Earth, and we're never alone. We're never alone. The universe is filled with life. Because we don't see it, we can't taste it, we can't hear it, doesn't mean it isn't there. We can't hear people in Ecuador right now, but they're there. So I hope that you have lots of joy in your heart. And as we do these ohms, let's send that joy because joy is strong. It'll overpower the feelings of negativity, okay? So let us have joy in our hearts. Let it move through you so that you are empowered first by it, and then it moves through you out to all others, all right? So let us do 3 ohms together. Om. 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 Thank you so much for being here today. Peace be with you. Namaste.